I'm News4 Jackson Chief Meteorologist David Eckert. Well, Tuesday is a big day in the science community around the world. It is March the 14th, or 3-14, and those numbers may ring a bell to some of you. 3.14 is the first three digits of pi, making Tuesday National Pi Day. But you may be wondering yourself, what exactly is pi? How do we discover pi? And why is it so important in the science community? Well, let's first off talk about what pi actually is. And we got to start off with just a standard circle. And there's really two ways to measure a circle. One is through the diameter, which is the distance between the edges of the circle. And then the second area is going all the way around the circle. This is called the circumference. Well, we know that there's a ratio between the two, and that ratio is actually constant. And the ratio is what pi actually is. It is actually the circumference divided by the diameter, which comes up to 3.14. What's so fascinating about pi is it's considered a mathematical constant. It doesn't matter whether this circle is smaller than the grain of sand or bigger than the tallest building. It always comes up to this ratio of 3.14. Another interesting point about pi is it is a number that goes on and on and on and on. In fact, it is considered an irrational number. It cannot be described in traditional fashions, can't be expressed exactly. In fact, 3.14 is just the first three digits of a number that goes on and on and on and on. So how exactly did we discover pi? Well, we knew pi was going around at least in Babylonian times and ancient Egypt, but it was this guy right here, the Greek scholar Archimedes. He was the one who really began to fine-tune this around 250 BC. In fact, it's sometimes referred to, pi is, as the Archimedes constant, and that's because Archimedes was the one who really got it down to 3.14, and it was widely applied in mathematics in Greek culture courtesy of him. So why is pi so important? Why we just measure circles, right? Well, pi is actually a bedrock in the science community. This is a great example of something that is a product of pi, our FutureCast computer model. Pi is loaded inside the gridded algebra that governs some of these equations because, again, the Earth is somewhat round as well, and how the atmosphere behaves can also use equations based on pi. A lot of things besides weather models use pi. In fact, it's used throughout geometry, algebra, thermodynamics, and even physics as well. Of course, here for the human side, when we think of pi, sometimes we think of pieces of pi. Same concept. It's a circular object. And again, we can use that ratio at 3.14. So grab a piece of pie and celebrate National Pi Day on Tuesday. I'm Assistant Chief Meteorologist David Eckert for Channel 4, the local station.